Hello everybody, welcome back to another Minecraft Let's Play video. And in today's video, we have something a little bit easier to do. Uh, we are just going to continue building a addition onto the house. Of course, we do this every episode, but this one is a little bit different. We are going to build a brewing room. So if you remember last episode, we got a bunch of blaze rods. If I can find out where they are. There we go, there's our 8 blaze rods. And I figure what better use for them right now than a brewing room. So we're going to put this in here, and actually we're going to mix it in with a kitchen. Because I just think that would be a kind of novel idea. I don't think I've seen anyone else mix in a brewing room with a kitchen before. So we're just going to dig out this nice area in here while I talk about a little bit of my plans. And actually, that's one of the big reasons why I got so much quartz, is because I want to make like a checkered floor almost. And I want to make it look kind of lived in and homey. And I want to use pistons for like a table. And have like a little nook over there. That's kind of the whole idea that I'm going on right now in my head. I would love to use like a cauldron for a sink for water, but I realize that might not be the best given that brewing stands need a lot more water than what a cauldron can kind of handle. So I figure just getting a little bit of this started might work out just a tad bit better. So we're going to plan out the space in this episode and hopefully get some stuff going so that it looks a little bit decent. But I'm just going to finish hollowing out this wall over here, and then we'll get started on hollowing out the floor. I understand you can use blaze rods to make Eye of Ender, but I don't really have any need to go fight the Ender Dragon yet. I really want to finish this house first, because I feel like once I beat the Ender Dragon, I might move on to a different Let's Play. And I don't want to move on from this world yet, because I'm growing attached to it a little bit. I really do like it. I think it's a very fun world, and I have been enjoying my time on it. I've actually been playing a little bit here and there over my weekend. So hopefully we have something going on, but I'm just going to open this up just a little bit more. I really wanted a window in here, but I don't think I'm going to be able to do that with the way the house is kind of built in the mountain. Because if you remember, on the outside, I think it like expands. Whoa, it's kind of cool. I think it kind of points out that way. Yeah, it does. I might not be able to get a window, but I think this is a decent enough space. I might make it a little bit larger on some of these walls. Just because I feel like it might look a little bit better if I do. But I'm going to go downstairs here in a couple seconds and get a new pickaxe, it seems. I added something else. So instead of just running through here, like every time if I'm in my bedroom and I want to go to my enchantment table, or I want to go up here somewhere, I have to run all the way down the stairs over there, run over here, and then run back up. So instead, I added a not-so-secret passage through my house, through that painting in the wall. And I think I'm going to put another painting on this side, like maybe floor level, that I just run through. Because it's a little easier having it there and not having to worry about much of anything than it is not having it there, I guess, if that makes sense. So let's get all these stuff to make a pickaxe. There's our pickaxe. And what do I need? I came down here for something. I forgot what I needed. I need quartz. That's what I need. I need a lot of quartz. Hopefully I have enough to get a floor shape done. Because I will kind of be a little sad if I don't have anything for the floor. So there's 45 blocks of quartz, and then we're also going to be using um, black wool. So it's kind of good that that floor is also black wool because that kind of helped me get more. Um, so yeah, I think. Oh wait, I can have a window. It's gonna be back here, but I can still have a window, which is great. Because I don't like really hiding my house in this cliff. I want some aspect of the outside being shown through. Um, so I think this is just gonna have to work. I could expand it out another block on this side, which I think could look kind of decent. But if I do, I kind of run the risk of not having enough quartz. And I really want enough quartz. Well, I mean, whatever looks good, I guess. I think it's kind of neat having the house kind of stacked on top of itself in such a strange way because that kind of forces me to learn the mountain almost because I don't want to run out of space of on my hilltop up here. So really getting that um shape down is going to be what kind of helps me understand more of it. God, what would you have in a house? I gotta empty my inventory. What would you have in a kitchen? I mean, obviously countertops. Kind of get rid of all this stone. I don't really need it much anymore. So we obviously need countertops, and I have a little bit of stone smelting in here, which is good because I was planning on using it for the uh, ceiling up there, but I think I'm gonna push that back because I think it would be kind of cool if we had um, something else up there. Oh, you know what I could do? I could make the side walls this stone slab texture. Because if you don't know, the stone slab looks freaking awesome from all sides. Um, so what I can do is destroy some of this. Again, back to destroying the wall, it seems. But this can kind of help me get a nice sectioned off area. And I think I want it to be a little taller over here because as you can see I have no glowstone in my inventory. I thought I did, but I could have some glowstone kind of jutting out from the roof, which I think could look kind of nice. And then I'm thinking maybe birch for the walls would look pretty cool. But we're gonna get the siding in first. And hopefully it contrasts pretty well with the rest of the house. So place that back there, get some of this black wool in here. The good thing about using like a checkered pattern is you're only really running out of the material you have you're only really running out of like half the material, if that makes sense. So instead of filling this whole floor with quartz or black wool exclusively, like I did over there, I'm instead running out of like half of the resources because I only use about half of the resource. I'm not sitting there with 4 stacks of quartz, um, placing it all down. I can get like a hopefully easier to accumulate block, like black wool, and use that instead. So this one's going to be a little tricky because it kind of jets out here. But I think that's for future me to worry about. Because I'm not really going to worry about that too much. Um, I am going to put in the rough idea where I want the. Oh, that's. I want to put out the rough idea of where I want the window. I want it to be a nice big window, so I think that works perfectly fine. And I can kind of see my other rooms over there, which is nice. And I'm out of birch, which is okay. It's okay to run out of birch sometimes. But I think that's my cue that it might be time for bed, but I am going to finish this wall over here if it kills me. So now I don't know what I'm really going to do for the countertop, because I was going to use this for the countertop, because I always think it looks more like a countertop than anything else. But because I've switched it to be like an accent, I think I'm going to have to change how I want my countertop to look. I could use slabs. Slabs could work out pretty nicely. And I could also put in like a fridge or whatever. That's such a weird lighting glitch. Do you guys know how that happens? Because after years of playing this game, I still don't know. Um, so yeah, this looks kind of nice. I could put like a little sitting nook over here, which could look very, very cute. Um, and then this ceiling up here. I want to kind of make it feel a little taller, if that makes sense. So I'm gonna like carve out this roof up here and replace it with like maybe leaves, or like kind of put the white wool up there too. And then I'm gonna have glowstone lanterns up there, which I think could look pretty cool. But let's just go over here and go to bed. I love that little painting trick. I think that's so neat. I really do. I think that's one of the coolest things in my house so far. Because I could live without all this other stuff. But this neat little painting, oh goodness, that is so cool. I still need a lot more bookshelves to do. And hopefully, someone needs to put a guardrail around there. What do you think? He doesn't know. He doesn't know much. He also doesn't speak much, but you know, it's okay because I think he's kind of cute. You know, we all have that one guy that we all know that's just like just kind of sits there. You know, nothing against him, right? But like, come on, you could at least say hello every now and then. But it's okay. He's still very cute. Um, I'm still on a large mission to collect books and finish my greenhouse because it's going to take what feels like forever to actually get all the resources, because I still want like beetroot and carrots and cactus, and I think that's it. Um, but it's kind of a challenge getting all those stuff, because I've tried using. Okay, if you don't know about like chunk base, I've tried using chunk base, which hopefully helps me find like a chunk in my Minecraft world. But for some reason, it always leads me to the exact wrong location, and I don't know if I'm just not using it correctly or what. Because I have the version, you know, I can see it up at the top of my screen every day. So I know what version I'm on. I'm on 1.12.2. But when I use chunk base, it says that like 1,000 blocks that way is a desert, right? Full desert, like a giant desert. But then I go out and I try to find it, and there's just nothing there. And I don't know if I'm just not doing it correctly, or if I'm kind of a moron. Might be a little mix of both, because I am a little bit of a moron. Um, yeah. Oh wow. Let's take a big step back and actually see the progress we've made, or that I've made. You haven't done anything, but man, that looks awesome. I might have to clean up this spot over here because I have wood on this side and nothing on that side. So I might have to clean that up a little bit, but I think it looks great so far. I'm gonna have to fix up there where the roof doesn't really exist yet, but again, I'm probably gonna do that between episodes, mainly because the last time I did a roofing video, no one really liked it, so I might have to change that. And I still haven't done anything with that wall over there, so that kind of sucks. But I think it looks nice. I think it looks nice from the outside. I'm gonna have to fix it on the inside, make it look pretty. But right now, I have a little bit of leather left, so let's make ourselves a couple more books. We're not going to be able, obviously, we're probably only going to be able to make one book, but, you know, it is what it is. At least we have something going. So there's our book. let's run up here. Um, and I kind of gotten sidetracked from the actual point of the video, which was a kitchen. So let's start working out how I want the kitchen to look. I could use some of this dark oak, because I think that could look kind of nice. Like slabs. And I'm gonna get some of this so I can make like a refrigerator. But if you guys remember, since this is going to be like a since this is going to be a kind of realistic-ish home, what I think I could do, can I make a button with a piece of cobblestone? I cannot. It has to be stone, it seems. But since this is going to be kind of realistic, I don't know if people do this still. I know I definitely do. But if you get a dispenser, that's not a dispenser. That's also not a dispenser. Okay, I might have to look up the crafting recipe. Yeah, dropper. Oh, that's okay. Well, I was off. I was off by a little bit. But if you get those resources to make a dropper, you're gonna want to need a dropper because a dropper doesn't actually place any items. It just, it drops them. That's kind of the namesake. But over here, I'm gonna have my little bench. And I kind of need more black wool. It kind of sucks. I don't have any, like, actual sheep pens. Because I would love to separate them by, like, all the colors they have. So that it's a little easier to sort through them all. Or, even, like, automate the process would be awesome. But right now, I kind of can't do that. So this is the best I got. It's just a crammed pen. I'd love to give them all their own pens, because I feel like that could really help keep everything down. But we are going to take our black wool and fall down the ladders. We're going to take our black wool and we're going to fill in the rest of these spots over by the walls so that I stop falling through. And then we're just going to place that there, I guess. And then if you don't know, a really good way to make a fridge is just by placing, I guess, one iron block. Get an iron door, line yourself up, place it right there. Get a dropper, and then a button on the side. And then when you open the fridge, stuff is usually supposed to fly out. So I guess I'll just put some food in there. And look at that. A watermelon just came out. So it's a really, really cool way to like impress your friends or whatever. And you can have like an actual fridge. But, I already have a bunch of friends, so I don't need anyone to impress. Sheepdog is my friend. That's kind of sad now that I say it out loud. But I'm just going to put that there so we kind of block the dispenser. You know what? I'm not going to block that dispenser. I think it would probably be better if I didn't block the dispenser. But over here is going to be the actual brewing stations. So I'm going to go over here and I'm going to get stuff to finish. So I'm going to get a crafting table. I need... What else do I need? God, I don't even know. I don't need any soul sand. I could probably do it with some chests. But let's get about that much redstone, some glowstone so we have a roof. And I think that's all we're going to be able to do for right now. I can't really make any bottles, but I can throw some sand in the furnace to make some glass, which would be pretty good. So I'm going to go back upstairs and continue building this room up here. I want it to feel more like a kitchen than like a brewing station. So I'm gonna put this here and make a cutting board. I'll place that right there, right on top. It's like where you would cut your meats or your foods or whatever. And then over here, let's make a couple brewing stands. So I'm only gonna make like two because I don't really have a lot of room. So let's put those there. And then I need a stove that I could put over here in this little section. And that's just going to be two furnaces, or a furnace rather. Um, Actually, I'm going to replace this, get some of these, place that there. There we go. And then I'm going to replace the drab torches with actual glowstone so that it's a little bit more bright in here. Place a glowstone there. Come over here, place a glowstone there. And then where would you say the center is? I'd say right about here. What is that, 4? That's 4. That's good. That would be like right about here. And then these 4 blocks. At least that's my guess. There we go. Yeah, that seems just about center. Okay, so then if you don't know, what you can do is get a couple of sticks. And what we're going to make is a very specific rail that I don't think I'm able to make. I really don't think I'm able to make it just yet. Um, Dang. Okay. I think I need gold, maybe? It's this, okay, it's an activator rail. That's what the rail's called, an activator rail. And it looks like a stovetop burner. Um, and so I'm gonna try and see if I can find enough stuff to make it. So I'm gonna quickly grab all of those. Because I think I did need gold. Okay, well, darn. I guess maybe I kind of hate this recipe book because it sometimes doesn't show like the recipe, but I had to look it up real quick, and apparently you need a redstone torch. Um, then you take it here, put torches all around it, or put iron all around it, and then you take that. Look, see, activator rail. Actually, I don't know if it is an activator rail. It is not. It is not an activator rail. Oh man, I just made a completely useless minecart or minecart rail track thing. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna have to find the actual one that I use. Oh, it was a detection rail. Detection rail. That's why it wasn't showing up. Oh, it needs a pressure plate. Well, that's okay. I'll just use an activator rail. And we will head back up here. It's not going to look as good. You definitely want to use a detector rail. But at least it looks a little, somewhat like a burner. And I could always fix that next episode. Or not next episode, but eventually. I'll fix it. But we need chests. We need a bunch of chests. I'm going to make a few. I'm only going to make 2. But up here, we can have a storage somewhere. Maybe like right up there, and then I destroy these blocks. But this will be like a cabinets up top. And then over here is going to be our actual balcony. Not balcony. Goodness gracious, I'm getting confused. But here we'll just have 4 pistons. I don't think I can make 4 pistons, but you know, you'll get the idea. And then we get some redstone torches. Let's get 4 just so that we can be ready. And right here is going to be the table. Look at that. You can kind of see it already. Obviously, I don't have enough wood on me to get the full thing, but you can kind of see it. Actually, okay, look. So I take this, place that, come over here, and there we go. Now we have another piston. And look at that. That's a nice little counter or table. That's a nice table. And we can put like potted plants or some tables and chairs. So here's a nice table. And we can put our chairs back here in the corners, make it like a little nice lookout nook, like a painting in the back. Obviously, it is not completed. It is not finished in the slightest, but that seems to be the common ground with our recipes all of the time. But we need to put in a little bit more. We need to go up here and go fix this so that we can actually have bottles to turn into potions. And I think what would be really cool is if in here we had all of like the stuff we couldn't, like, for instance, we have the stuff we have to freeze, right? So, like glistening melons or spider eye or whatever. All the food-related items could be in there, and then all the other stuff could be up here, which I think could look rather nice. But what I'm going to do under here is add. I don't know if I'm going to be able to actually add it. It would be kind of funny if we had like a leak under the sink. So since I was going to put the sink right about here, we have like a leak under it. And I think I'm going to do that right now is just put in our sink. So I want it to be like 2 wide. And I'm going to move this furnace over here. And we'll just place the activator rail on top. And then go over here, place our sink. And it'd be kind of funny if it had a leak in it. So I'm going to go down here and destroy all this. I don't actually have anything left, do I? Place that there. Place that there. Place that there. Oh, don't need that actually. Place this here. And then here. Do that. And then now we have our water. And if you don't know, you can always replace water. By filling up a cauldron with glass. It's kind of useless, actually. I don't think I've ever seen anyone actually use this efficiently. It's probably a very slow part of the video, but we're just going to fill up these 2 cauldrons here. And then I'm going to take a piece of wool from over here and patch up that hole. So now we have a leak in the sink that we can take water from. We cannot take water from the bottom. Oh my goodness. This plan isn't working out at all. Oh no. Okay, I'm gonna get this fixed sometime later, but you can kind of see the idea of what it's going to be, which is always important. I'm going to hopefully be able to have enough glass to patch this up, because I kind of used the rest of my glass to make these bottles, but it's kind of a risky business. I really need to get on and try to find a desert because I feel like the glass is always holding me back. But I think that's going to have to be it for today's video. If you guys liked the video, and I know I kind of got a little bit down there a little bit later, but if you guys liked the video, please feel free to like and subscribe, and try to watch some of my other videos, because I promise you, they're just as entertaining, if not more so. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video.